Culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I.
Rome.
D-Melo, Rough Lion,
T-Buggy, man.
just the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say. We back. It's your favorite sports show, Gas Presents Sports for the Culture. I'm tonight's host at Bryce XXV Double I. I'm fresh off Saki Tuesday, so bear with me tonight. It's gonna be a lit one. As always, I got the gang with me. I'm gonna start with my man with the unfortunate jersey on. Top right. Introduce yourself.
Never disrespect yourself. You disrespect yourself every time you wear that nasty ass national hat. Ladies and gentlemen, baseball season is among us. Starting tomorrow. A little promo for the Yankees. Go to Netflix. It's Yankees versus the Giants. That's why you see the away jersey on right now. And we're gonna hit them with a 5-1 tomorrow. Yankees.
All right, man. Before I continue, man, I got to do a quick over/under. Over or under August for G to be over the Yankees. Is it going to be before August or after August, bro? You know, by October, he ain't going to be saying shit about the Yankees.
Nah, it's for sure. August is a good
August,
one. August, I was really thinking September, so I'm going to say after.
You're going to go to over. All right.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself, bro.
Yo, what up, man? Scruff Skywalker, man. The hero turned the villain. Feel me? I'm out here. Shout out to the you feel me? I'm in a new crib, man. Blessings on blessings. And shout out to the WNBA getting a CBA done. Pay them girls. You feel me? Boys is in here talking about getting flown out and shit. So it's good shit for the W.
And my man level up something there. My man was in a new crib 2 weeks ago. He back in a new crib today, man. Put some respect on my man's name.
Oh yeah, you already said that.
Bottom right, T, man. Over or under. Oh, T just dropped. But I'm going to give my over or under on G for August. I'm going under, man. G going to be off them Yankees before August this year, all right? Boys don't got no shot in October. That's a fact.
Fuck no.
Bruh.
Winning the World Series this year, bro. I'm telling you, winning the World Series.
All right. Me and G also hopped in the fantasy baseball league together. Oh, he back. AT. Over or under G being off the Yankees by August. You think he's gonna still be rooting? Is he still gonna be rooting hard for the Yankees come August, or is he gonna be done with
that? It's gonna be past August. He's still gonna be rocking that bum ass jersey.
The disrespect here is wicked.
Introduce yourself, bro.
T-Boogie, man. Wash your hands, wash your ass. No more questions.
Hey, man, so look, a lot of good topics to get into tonight. We're going to hit the obvious ones. We're going to hit some not so obvious ones. And y'all know how this show go every night, bro. We're going to get into some ones that nobody expected. So first things first, we got to talk Final Four. We got to talk Sweet 16. On the way to the Final Four. But Sweet 16 talk early on, specifically that round of 32, man. And I could not continue this conversation without mentioning the Kansas versus St. John's game. So much talk about Darren Peterson. So much talk about Rick Pitino. But it came down to a straight line drive to end the game on a 2-point layup by my guy, Dylan Darling. All right, so I got to get y'all's thoughts on that straight line drive by Dylan Darling. I swear it looked like it was G and or Scruff out there sliding their feet on defense. T, what was your thoughts on Dylan Darling's layup, man? Was it a good drive? Was it bad defense? Was it just, or was the fix in?
Oh man, good drive. You know, something my father always told me at the end of the game, don't bail the defense out by shooting a jump shot. Try to get to the rim. You got to try to attack the rim first, and that's what he did. And he didn't bail the defense out, and so good basketball there. But from the defensive side, man, you can't give up straight line drives. You gotta make the defender change directions. You gotta make them cross or stop or hesitate or something. The terrible D, that's probably going to be a haunting play. I think that might have been Boogie Flan. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't know who was out there playing defense, but I can't remember. It was a lot of bad defense. That's why it's all a mess right now. It wasn't Boogie flying. It's all a mess right now because it was a lot of bad defense in close games. And that's why I want to make this point. In life, you cannot panic. Pressure cannot force you into being something that you're not. And I saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of that in the round of 32. Teams getting pressured. I saw from Tennessee. I mean, bad defense. Bad defense. I ain't gonna ramble on about it. Bad defense. I saw the internet saying somebody should have been in help, saying PD should have been in help. As a teammate, as a defender, as a help defender, I'm just not expecting a guy to get blown by somebody that hasn't scored all night. Like, the way you draw it up is he got to beat us. He ain't made a shot all night. It's got to be him. And if you can't stop that guy, you deserve to lose. And honestly, Kansas was down. They had to fight just to get back in the game in the first place. So, you know what I'm saying? They lost fair and square, but bad defense in a big moment.
Nah, that's a fact, bro. It was – I hate to even put young boy name out there like this. It's really not fair because it's just one play in his college career, but it was L. Marco Jackson. And I'm only saying this so I can give you all the quote, right? This is his own words. I figured he was going to try to shoot a jump shot. He got an angle on me and kind of wedged me, so I couldn't really make an attempt at the ball, and then he just laid it up. That quote kind of sucks. But, like, leading up to that play, right, this is another interesting part that no one's talking about because when people look at the play, they just point to players. But if you remember, before that layup happened, Bill Self called 3 timeouts in a row, right, because Kansas did not yet foul enough to put St. John's in the bonus, right? They were 3 fouls away from putting St. John's in the bonus. So while St. John's inbounded the ball in the backcourt, they fouled him pretty much immediately, running the clock down 3.9 seconds. What people are missing is I think Bill Self outsmarted himself in this situation, right? Because what he could have done was fouled him 2 times in a row, then allowed them to dribble the ball past half court and fouled them 1 more time. Instead of allowing a drive to happen with 3.9 seconds left, they probably would have had closer to 2 seconds or in some change left and have to make a last-second shot, most likely from 3, which is probably a bit more of a difficult shot than giving 3.9 seconds to allow someone to create. Some of the things people aren't thinking about from a coaching perspective. But, Scruff, I want to get your thoughts on the shot, on the coaching decision, and how you feel like the game ended overall.
Yeah, man. Bill Self has been getting a lot of criticism, man. You know, there's been some conversations about Bill Self around the Kansas program. He's been there for like 22 years. And, you know, granted, he has won the national championship. He has done it on the biggest stage. He has put people in the WNBA. I mean, not NBA, the NBA. But, you know, the thing that people been saying, people been calling for his job for a little bit with Bill Self. You know what I'm saying? They've been calling for his job because Kansas hasn't really been able to take it to the next level. I can't remember the exact stat, but it's been a while since Kansas actually has made it to the Sweet 16. Or the Elite.
Yeah, I think they're on like a 6-7 year drought, but yeah, it's a good point.
And that's not good for Kansas. That's a fireable offense in Kansas, to be honest. It actually should be a crime. So, yeah, that's not a good look. Defense was atrocious. How you let somebody go straight to the basket on you, and it's like you don't expect that to happen because you don't even expect somebody to give you a layup, right? And then the biggest thing about March Madness is, and I love it, but it's like it's always about the next shot with March Madness if you have the time, right? So I think people tend to like let shit happen so they can get the ball back and try to make the next shot, but there wasn't enough time for that, so they gave that up. And granted, it's one of those situations in March Madness. Sometimes just the last team that has the ball wins it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was that other game? I forget which one it was, but it was like they pulled up, hit a 3. They pulled up, hit a 3 on the other side. Like, right after that. They didn't even have enough time to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it be happening, bro. But, yeah, man, it's crazy shit. But, you know, shout out St. John's for getting a dub. That's a big win for their program. Rick Pitino is building something there in New York. He got some scrappy dudes over there. Dudes that, as a matter of fact, I think the best player on the team was previously a member of the Kansas Jayhawks, as it turns out. So that's pretty funny. and he muscled the fuck out of him. That's a grown ass man, though. Age of 4. I don't know how you say his name.
Yeah, Age of 4 is a dog, bro.
That man is a grown ass man, bro. That
Balled
man,
out for him last season too.
He ain't missing no meals, bro. Boy, strong as shit, bro. So yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what happens in the next round. The next round matchup is going to be crazy, but I know we're not talking about that yet. But yeah, Bill Self, I think they're having conversations right now at University of Kansas of whether or not he will be employed by the end of this next semester.
I like where you're taking the conversations, Croc, and hold that thought on the next round because we're going to get right back to that. But, G, I got to ask you, especially considering where Scruff's kind of taking the convo, right? If you have a legendary coach like Bill Self, G, like Bill Self obviously is a legend, bro. We can't debate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bill Self is that guy. He's one of the probably, if you had to rank just like pedigree of college basketball coaches that are still doing it, he's top 5. It's not really a question. Do you move on from a coach like that because he hasn't given you recent success on some what have you done for me lately type shit? Or do you have to keep a Bill Self around because he's Bill Self? He's still getting us Darren Peterson. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's still recruiting. We still in the combos. We still a blue blood. G, how do you feel about that as far as the Bill Self combo goes?
Man, it's true what they say in sports, man. What have you done for me lately? Look at Rick Pitino. Like, it took him how many times before he went back to St. John? Like, people get fired. Only Izzo is the only coach that I could remember since Coach K that's still been in the same program. Look at Kansas. Look at Kentucky. Kentucky got rid of what's John Calipari, and he went they let him go to Kansas in the same conference. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, what have you done for me? You haven't really done much. I mean, your recruits are there, but you got to get me to the last game at least. And we get it. It's a bunch of games. You got to at least get me to the Final Four if you want to hold on to your job eventually. And if you just can't get me there, what are we doing here?
Well, hold on. I got to throw this in there because I think earlier I said 6 years for Kansas making it. It's been 4 years, right? We can't forget they won in 2022 with Christian Brown on that team from the Nuggets.
Oh, damn.
So they did win one in 2022. Bill Self got one in 2008 with the Sharon Collins team, that legendary team. That was a hell of a squad, actually. That 2008 squad. I'm sorry, that was Brandon Rush and Mario Chalmers in 2008. And then he won again in 2022 with Christian Brown and them boys. So
I'm thinking of Florida. I'm tripping. My bad.
Yeah, so it's still a 4-year drought of not making it past the round of 32. Like, the questions are going to start being asked. And G, it sounds like you saying like, hey, we need something recently. I
say that because we're not in the same college where you weren't playing players. Now you're in the realm like you're playing. All teams are like all these top schools, these conferences, like players are getting played. So it's like the level of competition is you're all gonna be there. It's not no longer probably 4 or 5 schools got like stacked talent. No. Like everybody's gonna have like what you guys alluded to prior to the start of this tournament. They're gonna all have elite guards. Now it's gonna be up to the coach to get them past those other players, past that threshold with those guards. I mean, Pitino said it last year. He's like, yo, I'm not really down with the younger guys. I want old guys. He said it last year. He literally said this last year, and he's carrying on to his theory this year. Was like, I'm sticking with the older heads. Like, if you look at his roster, he probably only have one freshman, and the rest of these guys are either like juniors, seniors, or grad students at this point. Like, so what do you do now? Like, do you blame the head coach because he's not trying to get too old? He still wants to get young.
That's a good point you making. Like, it's like I said, Self won the chip in 2022, but it's a different landscape in college since then.
That's before the NIL.
Yeah, you got to ask yourself, is he changing with the landscape? And like I said, bro, I feel like a coach like Bill Self, personally, I feel like you can't get rid of that type of legend. But wilder things have happened in the world of sports, man. So we'll see how it lands. My guess is they stick with Bill Self for at least one more season. And if Bill Self is no longer the coach of Kansas, my guess is he walked away himself and chose a different situation.
Look at Buddy for North Carolina. He just got fired, or did he leave?
Oh, did they fire him?
He did get fired. I thought
Hubert,
he left.
did they fire Hubert?
Yeah. About time.
They deserve to. And if I say if he walking away, if Bill Self walking away from Kansas, he walking away the same John Harbaugh walked away. Same walk away. It was a get the fuck out of here, walk away.
Yo, but the thing about it is though, like that I wonder about like college now, where so back in the day, right, it was like you had to be a good recruiter and then you had to be a really good coach, right? Like you got to be a good coach to move your chess pieces around the board. But now it's like you got to be a good recruiter.
No.
You got to be a good coach, but you also got to be good at manipulating your NIL money and convincing guys to come play for you that are already in other programs. It adds another element.
The last statement is the beginning. You have to have the pockets first, and then the good recruiters. Because right now it's everything. The whole landscape is about the money. The whole landscape about college. So it's money first. Then you got to get the pieces, which is your recruiting, to try to get players either to stay or bring new guys in.
That's a fact, dog. It's gonna get scary, man. Hey, all I'm gonna say is did the good mister not warn y'all boys some years back about this? All right. I'm trying to tell y'all boys, man. We here now, baby. Don't say I ain't warned y'all.
But like the warning to what? To like bad product or to better product?
No, I warned y'all that the college sports was about to be changed forever. And now where it's at now, bro, it is no longer the college sports we grew up with whatsoever. College sports stayed the same for damn near 75 years. It was what it was. Now, bro, it's something totally different, bro. This shit is baby pro. This shit might as well be the G League, bro. But that's another conversation for another day. Want to get into our next topic, which is like, I'm not asking y'all to predict the final two teams, right? But what I am asking y'all to tell me is who are the best two teams that y'all seeing right now? Like, who are the two teams that, in your opinion, are on a crash course to decide who the champion is? Maybe they don't meet in the championship, but the winner of these two teams is the eventual champion. Scruff, I'm gonna start with you on this one.
I don't know if they've looked the best, but I think it's gonna be Duke. I think it's gonna be Duke on this side of the bracket. East side of the bracket is a great bracket. So once they get through this bracket, they're gonna be so ready for the championship that they're gonna fucking crush whoever they play. Wow. So
even after the early struggle in round one.
No, I think that's exactly what they needed. I think they needed a little bit of a whoa, like, you know what I'm saying, and be like, oh, okay, let's get our shit together. Let's get in go mode, and they start getting right. Shout out my guy Caden. He was out there balling, for real. He was the engine that kind of got them going. If we're being honest.
So is he? Wait. So is he the reason you feel like Duke is that pick, or is it?
Nah. I think they got a good team. And I'm just feeling it. I feel like the second round was a little bit more of a smoother ride for them, and I feel like they're just going to continue to get better as time goes on. So that's what I see for Duke. I see Duke continuing to get better as the tournament progresses. So I don't think they peaked early. I think it would be a grave mistake for you to look at the two best, the highest performing teams in the first two rounds and think that those are the teams that are going to win the championship. Because that's not how it works. It's about a long-term run. Yeah, stumbled a little bit out the blocks. So what? Momentum's gaining steam. When they beat St. John's here in D.C. on Friday, they're going to roll that motherfucking momentum, continue to roll forward. And then when they're going to have to play the winner of Michigan State versus UConn, yeah, they're going to have to bring their A game for that too. But they are the favorite in those games, and they deserve to be the favorite. The reason I think they're going to win, I just like this. I don't know. Sometimes I just like the stories. I'll be honest, and sometimes that adds to it. And it's like I like the Boozer twins. I ain't gonna lie. I like Boozer. I like both of them. I like the brother. I like the fact that they were born to help their brother. That's the coolest story in sports, honestly. They did in vitro fertilization so they could make an ideal match for the brother that has sickle cell, and they were literally bred to protect their brother and save the brother's life. And now they're playing for a national championship. Bring me the championship, bro. Like, I want to see them win the championship. So, yeah, I think Duke's going to come out of that side of the bracket. On the other side of the bracket, there's two teams that really come to mind for me. The first team, if we're talking about based evaluation on who's played so far, I'll say Arkansas is a team that I'm really want to keep an eye on because it's like they really did come together and handle their business, and they got the best guard in the tournament. All right, remaining guard in the tournament for sure. All right. Might be just the best guard in the tournament, period. So that's going to keep him in it. I don't know if they're going to get all the way there. So for that reason, I'm going to stick with my original pick, which was Michigan. I got Michigan coming out of the other side of the bracket. I got Michigan Duke in a crash course for the championship, with Duke winning it all.
I like your point about Duke and not peaking early, because y'all know how I feel about playoffs in general. I feel like you peak too soon, that can always be an issue. So I like that point. Michigan's an interesting squad to me because like they're one of those teams where if you look at their starting five and the origination of each player, none of them started in Michigan. Like their whole starting five came from somewhere else. That's just like goes to show you where we are with NIL. So I like those picks. I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I had to pick the best two teams in there right now, I think Houston, who is my pick to win the chip in all my brackets, to me they are the best team in this remaining like pool, and it's because they've got the perfect blend of old and young to me. Right? If like for instance, if you take their lead guard, a lot of people are gonna think it's Kingston Fleming, which it is, but it's also not, because last year they went on their Final Four run with my man Uzan. Right? Uzan was their lead guard. He came back for another year, and now him and Kingston Fleming are in the backcourt. You throw in Miller, you know, the relative of I don't know if that's Masterpiece's son or not. I think it's Masterpiece's nephew. But you throw him in there. You throw Masterpiece's nephew in there, and then you got Tugler, who to me is one of the most relentless big men I think I've ever seen. Like he get crazy offensive rebounds. Man, you just got a blend of old and young on that team that I think works perfectly in this type of situation. And I really believe that they are currently on a crash course with St. John's, bro. Like, I think St. John's beats Duke because, to me, St. John's is the toughest team of the remaining squads. Are they the most talented? No. When we talk about toughness, bro, like you mentioned Ejiofor, man, that boy going crazy out there, bro. I don't know. I think they're on the crash course. I think the winner of that game between Houston and St. John's wins it. I also got Arkansas coming out the other side of my bracket. And like you said, that's because I feel like they got the best lead guard. And I see that. I feel like you can't go wrong with the best guard in the nation. But, G, I'm going to kick it to you, man. Are there any two teams that have stood out the most to you throughout this tournament? Or maybe it's just one team, but who you think got a legit shot to win it all or to make it far?
I said Michigan in the last podcast. And then give me UConn. Dan Hurley and them boys look like they trying to get it back. I know last year they stumbled to Florida, but Dan Hurley and them boys looking good. Them boys haven't looked like they're going to miss a step this time around. I think it's them versus Michigan. I think that's the crash course that you're trying to allude to. Give me, and then give me UConn to win. I mean, I had Michigan winning, but damn, something about Dan Hurley, like he's the new coach, the modern Coach K, in my opinion.
Nah, that's a fact, bro. And like, I feel like Kelvin Sampson checks every box to me as like who the best coach in the nation is, especially as far as like being that mentor to players. When we talk about X's and O's, bro, I was watching some like coach film. Bruh, Dan Hurley is drawing up these ridiculous plays. I'm talking about plays that would easily work in the NBA. They're gonna work in the Euro League. They're gonna work in any form of basketball. And the fact that he's getting college players to buy into this level and understand these intricate ass plays, bruh, he's a special coach, bro. I'm with you. He might be the best coach in the nation, bro.
Let's not forget my man finessed his way into a contract with UConn when he tried to put the Lakers into this. Remember? I think most people forgot about that. Remember there was like the illusion like he was gonna go to LA, and then he was like, "Wait, nah, I ain't leaving. Man. I'm just bullshit, man. You can't just pay me, man. I'm trying to get this chicken, man. Yeah, I'm trying to get some more money, man. I just won y'all national chip. I know y'all want to pay me." And they said, "You know what? Fuck it." They gave him the bag.
Nah, that's a fact, bro. I think I'm with you with that. I think Dan Hurley might be the best coach in the NCAA, bro. I didn't believe that until like I saw some film where they was breaking down the actions his team was running. I'm like, this shit is unguardable, bro.
He's a great coach.
My thing, like, last year they just stumbled. The kids like had too much success. They felt like they took it for granted, and then had to humble themselves. And look, I remember like when we seen him when he won the first chip with Dan Hurley, people just talked about him like, "Yo, like what the fuck." Because wasn't it a two-peat? Yeah, right. He had the two-peat. So that's
called repeat, G.
No, he had the three-peat?
It's called repeat. That's the origination of the word.
Oh, yeah, I don't give a fuck. But whatever you're trying to say, the son already had one twice already. So that's why we was like talking about this. This dude had a program already built. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, he lost to Florida. In my personal opinion, that shit was a fluke.
Nah, it's a good point. And like coaches that have repeated NCAA championships, very, very small list. So I don't know. I think he might legitimately be the best coach in NCAA right now. T, kicking it to you, man, especially as somebody that has coached on every level of basketball outside of college at this point, right? I mean, shit, you know it as good as anybody, especially anybody on this panel. What do you feel like? Well, two questions. One, I want to know who you feel like is the best coach remaining, but also to my earlier question, which teams do you feel like are on a crash course right now in this NCAA tournament?
Coach, like I hear the Hurley argument. I hear the Hurley argument. I mean, he's getting it done. And I mean, between him and Gino, like they turned UConn into a basketball like haven. It's so crazy that UConn of all the places, right? But I mean, UConn had a storied history with basketball. But to see
But they're still in the Big East.
they were Big East. Are they still Big East?
I think that last of the Big East left, right?
Yeah, I can't keep track of these conferences and divisions now. But I gotta go Patino, man. I mean, Patino's done it everywhere he's gone. He's adapted to the modern game. We just talked about that with Bill. So, I mean, Patino got all them transfers in there, and it's cool to bring in guys. It's another thing to get guys to buy in and be on the same page when they're coming from everywhere. That's extremely difficult when you're talking about a whole bunch of personalities. Like, you didn't go to mom and pop's house or apartment and sit down and get to know the character of these kids. Like, these are grown men for the most part. So I got to go Patino there. But I do think they'll lose to Duke. They just overwhelmed Bill Self. Bill Self got out coached. But two teams on a crash course is Alabama and Michigan. I mean, what are we talking about here? Alabama has beat both teams by a combined like 40-something, and Michigan's won by a combined 50-something. I mean, both of these teams haven't been tested in the tournament yet. So, you know
they play next, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's two juggernauts.
So you're not even waiting for the last two. You're saying this shit is now.
Yeah, I mean, I not necessarily championship game, but like the winner of this game could easily end up in the championship game. So, and my original pick though was Duke and Michigan. You know what I'm saying? And I like that they're polar opposites. Michigan is just easily taking care of teams, and I like that Duke is like the sum of the parts are you know, the whole is greater than the sum of their parts for Duke. Like, some of these guys are not going to do it at the next level. You know what I'm saying? But I think together they are my favorite team. Like, they just play together. They know their roles so well. They share the ball. There's no egos. And like I said last time I was on here, man, I think this is Shire's time to get over the hump. I mean, but he's got some guys out there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all naming some coaches. There's some guys out there. But I think this is Shire's time. So we'll see.
That's a good point, bro. Alabama, I'm happy you brought them up because I didn't really think about them in this conversation. But you really got to put them in the conversation, right? Because, I mean, Nate Oates had them in the Final Four just in, 2024? So, like, I mean, they're no stranger to that. Couple holdovers left. And one man named LeBaron Philon. He a dog, bro. So yeah, that's a good pull right there. I like what Alabama has a chance to do, and I can see the winner of them or Michigan making it. I didn't even think about Alabama, but now you got me really thinking about them. Maybe I slept on them a little bit.
Yeah, I'm hoping Michigan gets by him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get my bracket busted, trying to be a little, but
yeah, nah, I feel it. Shout out to the gas bracket challenge, man. It's coming down to it. We'll see who gets a dub. But last question I got on this NCAA tournament, right? Obviously, coming into this tourney, the talk was the freshmen, right? I mean, we had Darren Peterson, we had Caleb Wilson before he got hurt, right? Obviously, Acuff and Boozer, right? I mean, Wagler still in the running. Illinois, I ain't hear about nobody mention Illinois, but shit, Wagler looking like a young Halliburton out there. But obviously, the talk at the time was the freshmen, and some of these freshmen have been eliminated, right? And I think we're really down to the big two of the big four, I would say, right? Are still remaining. We talking about Cam Boozer and Darius Acuff. So just from an NBA draft perspective, man, if you had to draft somebody for the next 10 years on an NBA team, like put your GM hat on for a second, who are you taking? Darius Acuff or Cam Boozer? T, I'm starting with you.
This is such a tough one to me, because guards run the NBA right now. Guard play runs the NBA, but I think Boozer is the better. Like he fits no matter where you place him. I think every team can use him. Every coach wants a guy like that. And Acuff, and I mentioned this about Caleb Wilson and his draft stock potentially rising because he got hurt and he's not able to play. Now we're seeing, now they're picking people's games apart. Like, can Acuff defend? And that's what you don't want to hear when you're talking about a small guard. A small guard that can't defend, to me, is a role player. I don't care what else you can do, because night in, night out, the best player on each team is a guard for the most part. So that's SGA, that's Hardens, that's Maxey, that's like night in, night out, Brunson. Like, and you're telling me you're smaller than those guys and you're struggling to defend in college. So I'm going to lean Boozer.
I like the pick, and I'm happy that you brought up Brunson in that conversation, because you literally have to be Brunson on the offensive end to be a guard that can't guard, right? Like, you literally have to be that great offensively. So I think that's a good pick. G, who are you taking, man, between Acuff and Boozer?
You can't teach 6'9". Pause. Because that's Boozer's height right now. He's listed as 6 feet 9 inches. Pause.
You can teach 6'9" how to snitch, though.
Hey, man. Hey, why not, man? If you're about being a law enforcement, fuck it. Protect your community. Protect your community. It ain't got nothing to do with me, man. But all I'm saying is, like, Boozer, you can't teach height. And you talking about 6'3". Look, I made fun of Brunson last playoff, but he looks like a fat, short guy running around. Like, look, we made fun of Brunson last year during the playoff, and he looks overweight. He looks stubby. He looks 6 feet tall. You don't win game. You don't win finals with a short guard, with a short point guard at that. Can they get you far? Sure, but can they win you the ultimate prize? No, I don't think you're gonna risk it all just to draft a short guard. Not in this league. It's like what you guys said, SGA. You got to guard somebody like that, and you 6'3".
Nah, you making a good point. And like earlier you said, it's a what have you done for me lately sports world. And I think when you look at, like, from a what have you done for me lately perspective, we haven't seen no AIs in a minute. We haven't seen no Stephon Marbury's in a minute. We haven't seen that type of player in a minute. So if Acuff is that, like, he's going to be the first in a minute. Even John Morant kind of fell off recently, right? So I get where you're coming from, G.
He would have to be like Steph Curry offensively.
And that means you got to have that crazy clip. So I'm with you. Scruff, man, between Boozer and Acuff, who you got, bro?
I'm a little surprised at how everybody is picking. I thought there would be a little bit more love for Darius Acuff. Because Darius Acuff is a hell of a guard, man.
At T_bookie joined.
He just signed a historic deal with Reebok. You know what I'm saying? AI signed him. You know, AI seen something in the young fella. Feel me? AI was an undersized guard. He couldn't exactly guard anybody. Right?
Sure.
Some people say he's the most influential player that ever walked through the NBA. So with that said, I just want to give some respect to Darius Acuff. Now, if you're asking me who I would pick with the GM if I had a high draft pick, I'd have to take Boozer, right? And the reason is because of a few reasons, right? To me, he's got the highest floor in the draft, right? I don't think you can really miss with that pick, right? So if you take Acuff, first of all, Acuff's not going to go as high in that draft, right? Boozer might go in the top 2 or 3, right? A-Cup probably go like low close to 10. You know what I mean? He could fall as low as 10 because.
Wow.
So I was watching some videos online, and it was a term that was used. I'm gonna steal the term. I'll give you credit. I don't know who you were, but I'm gonna steal the term. So I'm technically citating, but anyway, it's called wingflation. Is NBA is going through wingflation because it's like you can't take a guard high, and shit might not pan out, or you say he might not be able to guard nobody, and guards are just getting we need bigger guards. That's really where it's at nowadays. The traditional point guard. The pass first point guard, it basically is extinct in the NBA, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like basically the pass first point guard, the John Stockton, right, has been replaced. And now your point guard is now a combo guard. And if you can't get a bucket as a point guard, you're done. You feel me? So that's the new league, bro. And the two guards is basically wings. So the wingflation price has gone up, much like the real wing, just like chicken wing prices, as a matter of fact. Wingflation is a real epidemic, bro. So that's the reason why guys like DeBonsa is going to go up in stock because it's dude 6'10". You know what I mean? I didn't realize how fucking tall he was until I was watching that game. I was like, damn, this dude's tall as shit, bro. Like he taller than everybody on the court. I have some other thoughts about him. I'll save that for another day. But yeah, you got to go with Boozer here, bro. He's high floor. I think he's a guy that could be a good player for you. He could be a centerpiece. He might not necessarily be a guy that's going to lead you to the championship, meaning like he's going to be the best guy on that team to lead you to a championship, but he can be a championship piece, all right? He could get you there. Like, I would say at his worst, he's Al Horford. And Al Horford has some chips, I believe, right?
Okay. I see where you're coming from there. So you going for the high ceiling over the debatable floor, and I really can't be mad at that premise there. And y'all, we in a group chat together, so y'all know, y'all watch the show. We refer to the group chat all the time, right? In the group chat, especially like I say, midway through the college season, I was talking crazy about Boozer. Y'all know. Yeah, and y'all gonna hold me accountable if Boozer ends up being a bust. Because I was saying, at one point, I said he was a mix between Carroll and Tim Duncan. All right, so
that's fair though.
I was high on Boozer, bro. And the more and more I'm seeing that play out, I'm feeling like I may have jumped the gun a little bit based off what I saw midway through the season. We'll see. I'll have my final rankings at the end of it all. Gun to my head at this very moment.
Reminds me of?
What's that?
You know what A-Cuff reminds me of? Oh. What's my son that plays for? He used to play for the Grizzlies, but then he traded him to the Magic. Short arms. He looked like he be at the gym all the time.
Bane?
Yeah.
You were saying that because he light skinned, bro. Stop talking.
Nah, bro. He moves just like him.
He don't remind me of Bane, but I see what you're saying, bro. Especially the stature. A-Cup kind of.
Yeah, they both light skinned. That's the only thing I can comment.
No, man, I ain't that fucking shallow like you, fool. I'm saying, look at how they play.
Nothing about their game is the same, bro.
Yeah, it is, bro. It really is.
No, you're disqualified.
Oh, I'm disqualified. You're the one that's telling me because he's light skinned. Oh, because he look light.
Because I don't know. I don't see any other connection between Desmond Bane and Darius A-Cuff. They have totally different games.
It's similar as fuck.
We're gonna get back to that though, and hold that, G, because we definitely gonna be talking about, maybe not this episode, but down the line we're gonna be talking about like our rankings of the prospects. But when it comes to like A-Cuff versus Boozer, like I said, bro, I had Boozer ranked crazy high early on. And if it was a gun to my head right now and I was a GM, they say you got to pick between A-Cuff and Boozer. Honestly, bro, at this very moment, I'm taking A-Cuff, bro. And I'm taking A-Cuff because I personally feel like, and this is just right now, y'all know how this shit changes week to week, especially during the tournament. But I feel like Darius A-Cuff reminds me, to your point, Scruff, wingflation's going on right now, and smaller guards are kind of getting forgotten about. And A-Cuff reminds me of a throwback small guard that I grew up with, like the AIs, the Stephon Marburys, like the Steve Francises, like the guys that can literally come in and make your squad from a 25-win squad to a 49-50 win squad overnight, bro. Like overnight. Like I see that type of potential in them. And it's really just from a scoring and ability to read the defense and to like control an entire basketball game. I think Boozer could be the type of player that controls the entire basketball game, but I wonder if that ability is gonna translate from day one without him, being the go-to guy from day one, without him being a crazy usage player from day one. Like Acuff's a point guard, so from day one, his usage is gonna be up there, bro. And if you give a certain amount of usage to a player with that type of skill set, I don't see how it misses. I don't see how he's not able to succeed. But to Scruff's point, I do see like the floor of Boozer being much higher. And I think, like, I really been saying it for a minute now. I think this is going to be the draft that gets a lot of GMs fired, because if A-Cup ends up being Stephon Marbury, AI type of player, any GM that doesn't take him top 2 or 3 going to look stupid. And if Boozer ends up being a fucking, just an undersized big with no athletic ability, and you take him 1 or 2, you're gonna look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm saying Boozer gonna be that. I'm just saying it's like when you start trying to project what these players could be, it gets scary in this draft, bro. Like, this gonna be the draft that gets somebody fired, bro. So it's gonna be interesting to track. But shout out to the panel on that one, right? Because obviously before the show we talk about our topics, and I completely threw that topic. Like, I brought that topic out of the thin air. Like, no one was prepared for that topic, and everybody had very legitimate answers for it. So shout out to y'all for that, for those responses. But keep it moving, man. We move into any more comments on that before we keep it pushing? My bad.
So you're saying Boozer's at best he's like Bam, because you're saying he's an undersized center, right?
At best, I think Boozer is like Kevin Love in his prime with Minnesota, but with handles. Like, at best, I think he's like Banchero. Like I said, Banchero mixed with Duncan, where it's like super fundamentally, and that like super fundamentals, but also like ability to take the ball up in the break and to make things happen in the open court. But at his worst, I think Boozer is like a guy we just don't end up giving a damn about, like in the long term, like a guy that's like just an undersized power forward who can't defend a big, who too slow to defend a 3. And he's like, well, you can't guard wings, you can't guard bigs. Like, what good are you as a big man? You know what I'm saying? What good are you as a 6'9" player? And I think that's my issue with Boozer right now. But
you know what? You just changed my mind. I'm switching picks.
I'm
a very convincing argument.
And I'm not even trying to be convincing with this one, because I rock with Boozer. Y'all know how I feel about Boozer, but I'm like, dog, like,
no, I can see that.
Seeing him go against who was it they played last round? Was it Miami? Who was that?
Mm-mm.
No, who was that team where he was just getting blocked by that big man? It was like, what? Who was it?
Was it TCU? I can't.
Yes, TCU.
It was a couple possessions back to back where the big man just blocked Boozer like 4 or 5 times straight. And I'm like, hold up, bro. Like, you getting blocked by this 6'10" center who's not going to the league, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him, because like, he's a good enough basketball player, but he's not going to the league, bro. And I just felt like, dog, am I watching like Boozer's future right here? It was TCU. Yeah, TCU. And I was like, damn, bro, is this the future for Boozer? Like, he gets to the league and just like bigs in the league just swatting this shit because he can't dunk on you for real. Like, he got to get you with the pump fakes. He doing 5-6 pump fakes trying to get this big in the air. And I'm like, damn, man.
Yeah, I'm switching picks, bro. I'm remembering Jahlil Okafor at Duke. I remember Jahlil Okafor. I was like, yo, this dude's a fucking dog, bro. Post game is on 100. And I'm like, this guy's post bag. It's still amazing. Post bag is amazing, but it doesn't matter in the league. And that's really the thing about it. And, I'm a Sixers fan. And we drafted him very high. I was very optimistic. We got Jahlil Okafor. He's the best player in the draft. Boy, was I wrong. So, yeah, Darius Acuff does have that it factor.
Bookie joined.
So, yeah, I'm feeling your argument, Bryce. I'm switching sides. Give me Acuff. And if I get the pick wrong, you can fire me. Fuck it.
Nah, mark my words, man. This is going to be a running tape moment. Boozer is going to have a coming out party against Ejiofor. And y'all keep saying Ejiofor is a man and yada, yada, yada. This is a Boozer.
We're going to find out.
The Boozer game incoming. This is a Boozer stock riser. And I don't think he's Tim Duncan or none of that. I never thought he was that. I never thought he was none of that. And he honestly is the type of Duke player that goes to the league and just doesn't do what you expected, right? But I think he'll hold his own. I think his game does fit the modern NBA. I think he won't be down there battling with guys blocking his shot because the NBA more floor, just more space. You know what I'm saying? Like if I play him at the 5, like an Al Horford, now the Goberts and those tall defensive guys, you got to come out and check me. And most teams aren't scoring through the big man. So I don't really got to worry about him, people dropping 30, 40 on him a night. Like Star's going to give you 40 a night? Probably not. Like I think you'll do fine with like the Stars of the world and Isaiah Stewart's of the world, because that's your matchup. That's the Boozer matchup. I think he'll be fine. But I just pay attention. I think this next game is going to tell us one way or another who Boozer is.
Nah, that's a good point. That's a good point. It's yet to be seen, and I think to your point, bruh, a breakout game against Ejiofor could change my opinion 100%. And don't get me wrong, I'm still high on Boozer, bruh. I still think he could become that Boncaro, Tim Duncan,
Kevin Love
in his prime, right? Like if you Kevin Love in your prime, you a top 50 player in this league. Like on it's all said and done, you're gonna be on that NBA top 75. So we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. It's gonna be an interesting one to track, especially considering that it's a good chance that both of these guys are in that Final Four, the way it's playing out. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on, man. Last topic of the night. We got that good old NFL draft talk, man. Somehow, some way, bro, the NFL, even with March Madness, even with fresh off the Winter Olympics, even with the controversy that is going on in the country right now and the different political topics, somehow the NFL makes its way into our conversations no matter what, bro. It just goes to show you how much power that league has, man. But I can't end this night without us talking some NFL draft. And I got a couple of specific topics I want to go through. 2 main topics, and I kind of prepped you guys before the show. First one is Jeremiah Love, right? And I don't want to just talk about Jeremiah Love specifically as a prospect. I think we probably all agree that he's a hell of a prospect. So I don't want to get into like the, grading out Jeremiah Love. Is he a 90 in Madden or is he an 87 in Madden? I don't want to get into that. What I want to get into is he a top 10 pick? But with the premise of, is he a top 10 pick because of the position value, right? I think there's a lot of conversation going on in NFL circles where it's like, is running back even worth a top 10? Is running back worth a top 5? If you've got a running back there, but there's also a left tackle there, should you automatically go left tackle over running back because of how much money that position demands on a second contract? I think there's a lot of conversations to be had surrounding that. And I think because of that conversation, a lot of GMs will get these type of decisions wrong because they're too focused on what that second contract looks like, what the value monetarily looks like for that position versus how good the player is at that position, right? So my question for the panel tonight is Jeremiah Love a top 10 pick in this NFL draft? G, I'm gonna start with you on this one, man.
Running back. I mean, as a Giants fan, I rooted for Saquon Barkley, picked 2nd overall in that draft. I think it's a bad move.
How'd that work out for you?
I just said it's a bad move, ball man. Chill out. Fuck.
Golly, bro. Hey, G be shooting from the hip, bro.
He tried to come at me. He said, hello, right now. All right, ball man, chill out, man. All right, man. Like I said, it's a bad move. Let me don't line step me. Famous words from Cam. Don't be line stepping. Let me get my thought out. I think it's a bad move. In recent history, man, teams that won Super Bowl either got their running back in the offseason or drafted in the later rounds to have those running back contribute. The Chiefs did it, and now Seattle did it. And then the Eagles did it. So it's best to you don't need to draft a running back in your earlier rounds, not in the modern NFL. What you want to do is, man, go get yourself a late running back in the 2nd round, 3rd, maybe up into the 5th round. Because right now, I'm not drafting a running back. Not if you have a shitty all line or your defense needs some kind of help. Fuck no.
All right. I mean, I get it, right? And obviously, your first point was like, surrounding Saquon Barkley. I would disagree with you, bro, because Saquon left your squad and instantly won a chip. Like, soon as he left y'all, it was championship. So, like, to me, that says a top running back can win a championship. I mean, it wasn't with y'all, granted, but it's not his fault that y'all drafted bad after y'all got him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the reason that another team won a championship. So, I don't know, man. T, what you think, bro? In general, are you a fan of taking running backs early? And in this draft, should Jeremiah Love be a top 10 pick?
Top 10 player, not a top 10 pick. Drafting a running back that high is insanity, man. Absolute insanity. You can, if you can't reproduce the running back, elite running back's value, in the draft later, you can find it in free agency. Like you might not get 1,600 yards, but you can get 1,600 yards between a committee. You can get 1,400 yards between the committee. And on top of that, like, when's the last time a team drafted a running back in the first round and that running back successfully ran them to a chip? I mean, how did that work for Tennessee? How's it currently working for the Ravens, who traded? I know the Eagles got one, but the Eagles had everything in place. That's
all. Didn't draft that man.
That's what I'm saying. But just having a elite running back in general doesn't make your team a world beater, So that's why I just don't see it. I don't understand it. I mean, the Panthers had Christian McCaffrey, and what did that amount to? There's been elite running backs, and they've had great fantasy seasons. You should draft them. You should draft them top 10 in fantasy, maybe.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But in the real world, yeah. Because who was the GM that drafted Derrick Henry? Who was the GM that drafted Christian McCaffrey? Like, who's the GM that drafted Saquon in the Giants? Are these guys still around?
Nope.
Oh, there we go. That's all you need to hear. Fired.
All right. I think you make a compelling argument, right? But, like, if I was going to play devil's advocate and push back on that, I would say, like, outside of maybe one guy, like, what drafted quarterback has won a championship, and been the reason, right? I mean, like, Pat Mahomes, yes, but everybody else after is like, not so much the reason that they made it or won the chip. Like, I mean, we talk about these other quarterbacks who got traded to teams and then won chips. Like, in a running back is the same thing. We somehow taking that away from him because he was drafted high and traded to another team.
Jalen Hurts got drafted by the Eagles. I mean,
that's why he said the reason.
Was Jalen Hurts the reason?
They won it, yes. Wasn't over 300 yards that he threw on the Chiefs?
Yeah,
I want him to MVP.
That defense wasn't the reason they won it.
I think you could argue that he's the reason because of the tush push alone.
I mean, I just want to rebuttal that in general. Like, even if you don't get a Super Bowl, a quarterback is a franchise changer. You know what I'm saying? You can be a 6-win team and elite running back get you to 8. Elite quarterback gonna take a 6-win team to 10, 11. So also, elite quarterback's gonna play for 15 years if he stays healthy. An elite running back's not giving you that. He's not. You're lucky if you get 8 good years. You're lucky. You know.
He means 6.
6, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 6 is my number.
The money don't make sense. The trade don't make sense. Yeah, and you and the position of quarterback, right? Don't you? Like, in the first round, I guess in general, you get that 5th-year option. You would want that for a quarterback because of the money. You need that a little bit more than you need that running back 5th-year option. I know that much.
Nah, I think you make good points here, bro. And I think if all things are equal amongst every player, like, for instance, if we doing an NFL draft on Madden, and we know that every player coming into this draft, to this fantasy draft, is rated 95. Every player is rated 95. And I'm probably not taking the running back, right? But this is where the question comes in for GMs, because like then the question becomes, if the running back you feel like is the better player in the draft, but maybe the middle linebacker is not as highly rated, or the tackle's not as highly rated, or the quarterback's not as highly rated where you would be picking, is the running back the better value? And do we just not take the running back because it's in the top 10 and we take another position that may not be as good of a player? I think that's where a lot of GMs going to end up fumbling this bag right now. They're going to end up getting fired because, like, Jeremiah Love is a top 10 player in this draft, in my opinion. And just because there's a tackle who's the 20th rated player doesn't mean you should take him, because that tackle might not see a second contract. Scruff, what you think?
Man, I hear where you're coming from, Bryce, and I think it really depends on the team. That's really the true answer. But I'm going to give you some facts and some real historical data. So in the last 14 years, there's been in the last 10 years, there's been 14 running backs selected in the top 10. All right, I'm going to run through the list for you, and you stop me when one of these guys took them to the chip. So start Trent Richardson. Well, actually, you know what? The second one you're going to say he technically did.
Then
Todd
still
Gurley.
list him. Don't do that. List that, man.
Trent Richardson, Todd Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, Christian McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette, Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, Ashton Genty. So the common thread between a few of these that actually were successful running backs is that they actually went to the chip and actually had their best success when they went to their second team. Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley being the main example. Ezekiel Elliott had a good run, but they never was going to win the chip, right? Trent Richardson, obviously, we know how that worked out. Todd Gurley had a hell of a run, got them boys to the chip. I think they lost, though, and then he kind of just lost his legs, all right? And
he lost his legs before the game.
Yeah, how'd that work out for him? So his career was cut short. I'm sure they would have rather had a tackle that lasted for 15 years or anybody, you know what I mean? Quite frankly. So, yeah, and then, I think it depends on the team. So I think if you're a bad team, and I will use the Saquon example, or I won't do that personal. I'll say you'll use the Ashton Genty example. So if you're a bad team and you draft a running back and your offensive line is boo-boo, and guess what? You basically end up like Ashton Genty on the Raiders. This man's getting hit as soon as he gets out the backfield, and for some reason he's at 3 yards of carry, but in reality his yards after first contact is like 6 yards. So it means he's getting hit like 7 yards in the backfield. What the fuck's going on? Because the offensive line sucks, right? They can't do anything. He can't cook. And now what people are saying, he's a bust, right? He's not a bust. He's just in a shitty situation with a shitty-ass team. So you had no business drafting Ashton Genty when you're the Raiders. You need to draft every other position in the world because you need help everywhere else, right? And I agree with T. A good running back's not going to take you from 4 wins to 16 or 14, 12 wins, whatever the fuck it is. It's just not going to happen, all right? Now, depending on the team, some teams, there's one team, and actually there's maybe 2 teams that could draft a running back here. There's 3 that came up. Tennessee Titans were linked to Jeremiah Love. I think that would be the exact situation that you don't want. You don't want a team like Tennessee drafting Jeremiah Love. And Jeremiah Love, you don't want to be drafted by a team like Tennessee. Because first of all, anyone who's been drafted by Tennessee has regretted that. Period. All right. The second thing is they're not a good team. So they just coming off being the worst team in the NFL last season, or more or less like right there. Like they were the number 1 pick last year, and now they right back in this shit again. You're going to draft a running back, and this is a total rebuild. I don't like that at all, bro. I don't like that at all. And then, so I'll say this. There's one team that would have made sense, but they just went and got Kenneth Walker. Now, if the Chiefs would have drafted a running back in the top 10, I would say that makes a lot of sense because they're a very good team already, and they just needed they have the infrastructure to support having a good running back because they already have a good team, right? But honestly, they have an issue too because they have a bad offensive line. And then there's one other team that maybe could draft a running back, but I don't really think they should. But I would argue maybe the Commanders could draft a running back in the top 10 and take Jeremiah Love. And the only reason I say that it's acceptable for them to do that is because they actually have a pretty good team. They do have holes around the roster. So ultimately, I don't think they will draft him. They're going to go for a position of need that's going to be more of an impact. But I think if the Commanders wanted to draft Jeremiah Love in the top 10, I don't think it would work out. Ultimately, I think they wouldn't win a chip. But I think it would make sense a little bit because y'all feel like when y'all healthy that y'all are a playoff team and y'all had a running back to that team. Y'all have a major need at running back. I think that could make sense. But the data shows that it's not successful. Drafting a running back in the top 10 is not successful. And the best thing to do is wait for that running back to become a free agent, and then you sign him on a good team, like they did with the Eagles. The Eagles did it. Like the 49ers, they got Christian McCaffrey for like a 4th round pick or something like that, right? It's working out pretty good for them.
See, man, this is why, man. I just can't agree with y'all boys here. All right. And the premise in general is hard to disagree, right? Because I think from a premise standpoint, y'all make sense because it's so easy to say. It's so easy to say, if you a bottom 10 team, if you were picking in the top 10 and you pick a running back, it's not gonna help you. You know why? Because everybody picking in the bottom 10 sucks. All right. There's nobody good picking in the bottom 10. If you're picking in the bottom 10, it's because you was trash the year before, right? And the same way y'all point to running backs leaving their team and then having success somewhere else, I could say the same damn thing about quarterbacks. I mean, look at Matt Stafford. Didn't he have a losing record and then go to the Rams and win a chip?
But we're talking about the lines, bro. The lines that couldn't get it together. Bad news bear.
But that's my point, bro. Because Saquon was on the Giants that couldn't get it together. All right, it's at some point we got to say it's not the player or the quality of player. It's just the team, bro. And I don't believe that you just don't take a running back or a running back's not giving you that value just because of the position. I feel like if they're the top player in the draft, you got to take them. But G, you said it was the Lions. Elaborate on your thoughts on this, man. Obviously, you've been through the pain of this with Saquon. What are your thoughts on this? We'll close.
You know what this conversation feels like, bro? It feels like we're telling you Santa Claus doesn't exist, and you're just not trying to believe it. This is what this feels like, dog. We're telling you, this shit ain't real, dog. I'm sorry. It's been your mom and dad, grandma, uncles, and aunts that been buying the gift and putting them under the tree, brother. This conversation feels like, bro. We're telling you, this position isn't gonna save you, and it's not gonna make you. It might break you, but it ain't gonna really make you. And if it makes you, is what T alluded to earlier. You might have just win 2 more games. It might have a great fantasy football season. At best. I don't know the way to spin it for you. You want a spin cycle? I think you got to go to Pilates, brother, but I don't know what to tell you.
I hear you, bro, but I guess the reason I can't agree is because I think every draft is gonna be different, right? I think every draft is gonna be different, and I think there's been enough first round running backs, maybe not just top 10, but enough first round running backs have shown me the talent to be able to change the team. Look at Jahmyr Gibbs with the Lions, bro. Are you going to tell me Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't make that team what they are right now?
I think the culture change was the biggest thing. But
remember, we first thought he was going to be he started slow. He didn't start in fast.
He was splitting carries.
Yeah. Remember, he wasn't the number one guy automatically. It took him a while. Remember that draft?
I mean, look at the Falcons. Who's more of a reason for their little bit of success they've had? Bijan or your favorite player in the league, Michael Penix? I'm giving it to Bijan.
Bijan, no doubt, but they haven't been able to get it all the way together.
Exactly.
All right, but they also took a first round quarterback.
And
you're right.
Bijan is going to be great at his next stop.
Oh my goodness, the person that signs him. Oh my God.
Because when you lose, you want to get out of town.
Yeah, good point.
He's gonna be out of there soon.
Yeah,
and actually, if the Commanders are smart, you just wait on it.
Oh my God! If
just
they got Bijan Robinson,
man, listen, bro. I hear all that, but if I'm the Commanders and I'm at 7 and Jeremiah Love sitting there, it's gonna be very tempting.
Didn't Brian Robinson went down to Atlanta?
What's that?
Hey, man, Brian Robinson Jr., right? He went down to Atlanta, right?
Yeah, good luck in your fantasy draft.
Yes, don't fuck up on the initial fantasy. I was about to allude to like
That's
fuck up the fantasy.
fucked
I'll
up,
be
bro.
begging your commissioner to make a commissioner amendment.
Dog, you know how they don't be listed on the fantasy joint? They be B. Robinson, Atlanta. You can be like,
Which one is
Yo,
it?
B Rob here in the second round.
The red and black, the red and blue button. It's gonna be that meme. Which one is it?
B.
It's gonna
Robinson,
be that
Atlanta. Which
second
one
round
is
that
it?
kick people asses because they gonna feel like they got to steal in the second round.
They gonna have to put the whole name on that bitch, otherwise it's malpractice.
That's hilarious, man.
What that gonna look like, bro? Bijan, if I was Bijan, I'd request a trade off the rip, just for the simple fact that you just signed a man with my same name and initials, and now I got to put my whole fucking name on the back of my jersey. Fuck you guys. I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and I'm over here with the full name on the back of my jersey. Come on, man. Trade me. Get him out of there, bro.
Holy shit.
Hey, listen, man. Real ball nowhere's gonna know about a number, bro. All right, we don't gotta look for the last name.
So what's his number?
Bijan 7?
Oh no.
No, I think Bijan 3, right?
Yo, dude, you could have
don't
said
even know,
7. I would have
bro.
believed you right now.
Nah, 'cause ain't no way they gave him Mike Vick's number, right?
I don't even know, bro. 7 sounded right.
No, he's 7. He's 7. I was right. I second guessed myself because I'm like, there's no way they gave my man Vick's number, but I forgot. You know, Vic
Somehow
ain't
he
in
did
good,
all that, and he
Vic
still
ain't in
don't know
good
his number.
standing with them folks after what he did.
Yeah, that's dirty. That's dirty. I ain't gonna lie. They should have
Yo, you
retired.
can't give him Vic's number. That's crazy work. Hey, but yo, before we close out, man, good stuff on the panel tonight. I gave a whole bunch of questions out of left field. So good shit on y'all answering those off the cuff, man. Any comments before we get out of here? All right, so y'all know how we
Hold
end
on. It's
Yo,
baseball season, and the Yankees are gonna win in 4.
sports
We're
for
gonna
the
predict
culture,
everything.
man.